one thing I just realized as I was going through my research before this interview, House Party 3 has
oh God,
Chris Tucker,
all-star,
Angela Means,
stop it,
and AJ Johnson, all three of which ended up being in Friday. It's as if Ice Cube went and just took your whole cast and just made a new movie out of it.
I know what you did, Ice Cube. No. Well, you know what? You're right. They used a lot of the similar
three
yeah.
of the characters.
Yeah. Well, and I don't blame them. First of all, I wish we could have had Chris in our movie more.
Yeah.
You know, what actually happened with Chris was he played like he was like managing a stripper, a character named Johnny Booze in our movie, in House Party 3. And I remember the night before we were gonna shoot that, the director, Eric Meza, called me. And he said, yo, man, we still ain't got nobody. You know, me and him was real tight working on the film. And he's like, yo, man, we still ain't got nobody for Johnny Booze, man. You know, what the fuck we gonna do? And I was at the Comedy Store that night, hanging out. This is before I started doing stand-up. I'm hanging out with the comedians all the time. We were all buddies. And I knew Chris. You know, Chris had come there from Atlanta, and he'd been out there for a few months. I would see him around and everything. And I saw him that night. And I was like, yo, I said, this dude, I knew the role was. I said, yo, he could do that. He was so quirky and really different. So when he got off stage that night at the Comedy Store, I went up to him. I was like, yo, what's up? And and Chris is so funny. He said, hey, what's up, kid? What your rich ass doing? That type of shit. You know what I mean? You just see, when Chris first came out, we was up in the Roxbury popping bottles and all kind of shit like that. You know, he would join us, you know what I mean? And I just thought he was really funny and unique. And so, I was like, yo, we got a role, in the latest House Party. Come, da 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 da. He said, yeah. You serious, man? Don't lie to me, kid. And so I hooked it up, and he went down the next day and shot his scene, and he was awesome. He was great. Like just one little scene, and he just popped. And don't get me wrong. I mean, Chris was out here doing his thing. He was gonna pop regardless. I mean, he was gonna come across Ice Cube's, desk at some point.
Yeah, he was doing Def Comedy Jam and everything.
And remember, it's all New Line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Friday's New Line. House Party's New Line.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an easy, that's an easy thing. And then, Ice Cube obviously, picks who he wants to pick, and he picks some great people, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he had Spoon in there too. Shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. John Witherspoon.
Yeah, exactly.
And Bernie Mac.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on. Four people
Cube.
From House Party 3.
Cube.
I forgot about Bernie Mac.
Cube. 4
people from House Party 3 ended up in Friday.
We're gonna need a check. Yeah, but that's to me that's awesome because and I'll never forget when I remember years later, I was we were in New York and I was doing something. We were doing something at the Waldorf. I was hosting some event, and I ran into Chris Tucker and his father. He was staying at the hotel, and we ran into him. He was like, "Hey man, what's up, man?" And he had his dad with him, and he introduced me to his father. He said, "Hey man, this kid put me in my first movie, man." You know what I mean? And now, anytime I run into Chris, it's always love. And to me, that was one of the great things about those House Party movies. For a lot of people, it was their first time to pop off and do their thing. I mean, look, we knew Martin was gonna be a hit. We knew it. All right, from House Party 1 to House Party 2. House Party 2, they didn't want to put him in House Party 2 at first. They didn't have Martin in, and they didn't have Full Force in. But we had leverage at that time. I sent the shit back. We sent it back. Say, we don't need no new villains, and we don't need no new best friend. Put them back in, and we had the leverage at the time to do that. You know how it goes. When they got the leverage, you just gotta duck your head, and you know what I'm saying, and just take it. But at times like that, when we knew, we just like, nah, man, this kid is gonna be fucking huge, man. And when you see that happen, when you see people fly off and pop off and do their thing, I mean, that thing is a blessing, man. Queen Latifah is awesome. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's a boss.
Right, because TLC was in House Party 3 as well, as Sex as a Weapon.
Sex as a Weapon. They were amazing. They were great. You know, the scenes they had, they was just obviously their chemistry was great, but you know, there's a really funny scene where Play and I are trying to convince them to sign with us, our little management company, and they're just riffing and you know, and Play and I are, you know, it's just really, really good stuff that thankfully, you know, and I'm my own worst critic. You know, we're our own worst critics, but I'd be damned if them joints hold up to this day, man. There's a reason why. Man, you throw on BET, man, they'll throw them 3 house parties like back to back to back. They ain't doing that if people don't like them. They're not doing that if advertisers aren't responding to them, if they can't get the ad revenues that they're accustomed to. So that's, you know, that's crazy. So when I look at stuff like that now, I just, you know, it's, you know, there's a lot of fond memories and a lot of laughs.